Good morning or good afternoon, coaches. This is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. We are a new startup company based here in Austin or Round Rock, Texas. Connected Athletics is a company that is focused on creating a platform to help connect student athletes with other student athletes as they build their network, to connect student athletes with college coaches during the recruiting process, and then also to help them successfully transition from high school to college and then either into the pro game or into a career in their major. We've got another exciting prospect that I've known pretty well and have watched him since middle school. We have a class of 23 receiver from Stony Point High School here in the Round Rock area, 6'3", 180, tremendous GPA of 4.0. He was an FBU Adidas Freshman All-American, which I'm proud to have him on that team. Braylon James from Stony Point. Braylon, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing really good, Coach Williams. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's good seeing you. We haven't been together since Naples back in December.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
talk about that experience a little bit later on, but just real quick, tell me how you've been staying in shape and getting ready for the upcoming season in this COVID-19 environment.
So basically, during this break, I work about like 4 to 5 days every week. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, those are the day I'll go to the field, work on footwork, catching balls, running routes. But whenever I'm not on the field, I'm always in my garage in the weights. So
Okay.
pretty much
And
what
then
I
are you
do.
getting a chance to get out and run routes a little bit and catch the ball a little bit or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I work with my trainer Derek Lewis. So he's been helping me get my footwork down because that's really what I've been struggling with right now. So
Okay. Now the mechanic, I know Derek very well. He does a great job working with you guys, so it's a good shout out for him. Hey, let's jump right into your video here, and if you could just commentate to some of the plays we're about to see, who you're playing, and with you being a freshman and big time playmaker on varsity. Okay.
sir.
All right. Come on. And we hit play here.
So this first play, this was against Hendrickson. Basically, I was running a slant across the middle of the field. I was blending between both of the linebackers and the safety, and my goal there was just to get a one-on-one situation with the safety. So that was
Okay.
able to. This is another slant play. This is another slant play that I think I took this one all the way. Yeah. So I went right behind the linebacker. Yeah, I caught the ball and I got to just explode out, score the touchdown. This is another slant play across the middle of the field. I want to say, yeah, I went right behind the safety, and I pretty much burned everybody from here on out.
Bro, it looks like you can play inside or outside with your height. I like you're probably one of the biggest inside receivers I've seen. Talk to me a little bit about you playing both the inside and the outside receiver position.
Yeah, so basically, I've been working on the slot and the outside because when I get to college, I know sometimes you may not be stuck at the outside or stuck at the inside. So I want to be able to do everything now. So for when I get to the next level, I'm able to do it there. So yeah, that's a huge part of my game. I feel like that makes me highly recruitable.
Well, and that last play showed us what I love about your game is that your height and you going up and get those 50-50 balls. Talk to us about your height advantage and your vertical ability to make plays on balls above your head.
So basically, what I like to brag on a lot about myself is I have an 83-inch wingspan. So me being able to jump up there and get the balls has to be a huge part of my game. So yeah, that's really much catch anything around my body. That's what a lot of my coaches like about me, and that's a huge part of my game.
All right, I'm gonna pause it right here. Get out here. So let's go into more detail. Talk about your ability. You're obviously a very tall receiver. Talk to us a little bit about that transition because you got moved to varsity about what mid-season. Talk about that transition from the freshman season into the varsity season last year.
So basically, going into the football season, my goal was to make varsity, but unfortunately, I broke my wrist at the beginning of the season, so my process was kind of slower. So I had to play like the first 2 or 3 games on freshman before they could move me up to varsity practices to see what I could do. And yeah, that was a huge transition for me. I was able to showcase my talents on both levels, and yeah, it was just a blessing.
Okay. Let's transition real quick. Talk about your academics. 4.0 GPA. Tell us about the importance that you put on your academics.
Oh, in the classroom, I'm always working. I'm working really hard. I think every student athlete knows that school comes first. You won't be able to play football or track or basketball or whatever sport you play if you don't have the grades and if you don't have the books. And that's something I really pride myself on. I work hard in the classroom. I work hard at home. Uh, and making good grades is pretty much the biggest part of what I can do. So.
Okay. Do you have a favorite subject? Are you a math guy, a science guy, English reading? What are some of your favorite subjects?
I really love math. Yeah, I have to say math. That's definitely my favorite subject. I'm in geometry right now, and that's always my easiest class. So math is definitely my favorite subject.
Okay. And then moving forward, I know you're 3 years away from college, but have you thought about what you might major in when you get to the college level?
Oh, I want to be a mechanical engineer. That is something I've been studying since fifth grade. I've always been intrigued with engineering, and yeah, that's something I plan to do further in.
That's one thing we talked about in Naples. Me being an engineer, also, and using football to get my degree in that. I love engineering. I've been migrating into marketing, so I think you'll be very, very good at that going forward. Hey, let's talk a little bit about class 23. Talk about your experience that you had out in Naples playing with the top 60 class of 23 freshmen in the country back in December.
Honestly, in my whole football career, my whole early football career, that was definitely the biggest experience I had. I was able to go out there and play with big time players in my class like Brandon Ennis, Brennan Store, Bruce Mitchell. If I can name everybody, I could, but I held my own weight, and that was the biggest part. I made some big plays, and
Yeah, you did.
it's a huge experience. Yeah,
So tell me, from that experience, are you still staying in contact with some of those guys you met? Are you guys staying close and kind of tracking each other?
of course, we FaceTime nearly every day. If not, we're on the game playing together. We're always in contact with each other.
That's awesome. Yeah, so you obviously had a positive experience. It was great to see you out there and get out there and make some big plays. And going forward now, as you go into your sophomore year, talk about what you're working on with the mechanic with Derek, as far as your strengths going into this fall, and then some of the things your weaknesses and what you plan on bringing to your game in your sophomore season.
Mhm. So definitely, as I mentioned before, my catch radius, my being able to high point the balls, that's definitely my biggest strength right now. But what I've been working on is my footwork. I'm a big guy, I'm 6'3", so being able to get off the line quicker and my acceleration, that's one thing I also been working on with him, and being able to get that down and get into my routes better. That's definitely gonna contribute to my game.
Okay, I like it.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, there's a lot of good receivers in the class 23. How do you differentiate yourself with against all the other quality receivers in your class?
So basically, I feel like I'm different from many other receivers because I feel like I can grab any ball that's around me. A huge receiver. Literally, you can go to me in any situation. If you need a first down on a third down deep play, I'm the guy to go to. If you need to score a deep touchdown with little time left on the clock, I'm the guy to go to. But basically, I'm a clutch performer. That's what I can do.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about recruiting. You're still very early, as we've talked about, but tell us, who are you hearing from? Who do you want to hear from? And what's your approach as you get into the recruiting cycle?
Yeah. So like you said, it's still early on in my recruiting process, so I haven't heard from a lot of coaches, but I plan to hear on schools like LSU. That's my childhood dream school. UT, they're right down the road from me, so being able to get an offer from them would be huge. Schools like Texas Tech, USC, Oklahoma, that's a huge school as well. But yeah, I plan to hear from them later on in my football career. I hope to get my first offer by the end of this.
Okay. Some of the schools you mentioned, are they just, schools you looked up to as a young player coming up, or are those schools that you think are a better fit for your talent in the schemes you're running right now?
Those are definitely schools I have looked up to growing up, but as I developed more, I started to see how they also played a part in my style of play. Like they're pass heavy teams, especially LSU. They were very pass heavy this year, and that's something I seen. So I plan to go to a pass heavy school.
Okay, I like it. All right. I mentioned it earlier during your video, but talk to us. You rarely see a big guy like yourself from a height perspective playing on the inside. Talk to us about your mindset and what Derek's been working with you on about playing the outside receiver and be able to play on the inside.
So basically, with Coach Delu, he's been working on me with versatility. He says that you can't just be a one-dimensional receiver, because like I mentioned earlier, at any college they may want to move you around, put you in different positions. So being able to play on either side of the ball, either side of the or play in the slot or play outside, that's what you need to be able to do, and that's something I can do very well.
Okay, good stuff. The relationship between you and a coaching staff is important, and college coaches will want to understand, were you coachable? Talk about your relationship with your position coach and your head coach.
Oh, they're great. Coach Silvera, he's my position coach. We're always joking around and playing around, but when it's time to be serious, we're serious. But he's been great to me. Coach Creek, he's a running back coach. He's been a huge part of my football career. I feel like if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be as good as a player I am right now. And he's amazing. Coach Lewinsky, he's the one. He's our offensive coordinator. He goes over all our schemes with me and stuff. He's always giving me a call, checking in on me, and that's what I need. Coach Hayes and Coach Sabach, those are our strength coaches. So they're making sure I'm always staying fit, staying active, especially during the break. Coach Chester, he's a great guy. He always has something. He always has something inspirational to give out. So yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, sounds good. I know a lot of the guys you mentioned, and you mentioned a couple of them that I have to shout out here. Coach Crick is a good friend of mine and does a tremendous job advocating for student athletes like yourself. And Coach Silvera and Coach Lewinsky have helped at some of my showcases. You've got a good group of guys to support you as you go through this whole recruiting cycle. So that's good to hear and have you shout them out. A little bit about back on your academics. Tell me, is there a specific teacher or counselor or somebody who you want to shout out that's helped you stay on point with your GPA and your report card?
Definitely my teacher, Mr. McClendon. He's always getting on me. That's my geography teacher. He's a real cool guy. Yeah, I feel like he's always pushing me to be the best I can be. But yeah, Mr. McClendon, he's a really cool guy.
Okay. Braylon, with the great GPA, you've heard me say this a lot at different events, but I mean, you are truly a great example of a student athlete. For those players out there right now that don't have a 4.0, maybe it's a 2.0, what advice would you give some of the players, even at your own age, on how to balance being a great athlete, but being a great student being more important in that aspect?
I say just focus in class. If you want to be better, if you want to be a better student, it's really much classwork. Because I mean, yeah, homework is important and stuff, but what you do in class and the attention you bring to class is definitely the most important part. That's how I feel like I was able to have such a high GPA this year.
Yeah, and I think also what it also shows that you're preparing that eventually, as I have told many players, like football is going to end one day, and after that, education is going to take over. And so, if you don't put that focus on it now, it's going to come back and it's going to hinder some of the options you have in life. Talk about what you plan to do in your life after football's over, whenever it's over.
So hopefully, if I do make it to the NFL, I gained a little profit from my career. I plan to invest in businesses. I plan to open businesses, whether it's owning a shoe store, or record label. I plan to do really much everything. But say if I don't make it that far, as I said earlier, I plan on being a mechanical engineer. So.
Okay. Yep. Tell me about your family. I've met them, got a chance to meet some of them in Naples, but tell us about your mom and dad and your siblings. Are you an only child? Are you the baby, the oldest? Give us a little bit of insight about the James family.
They're really great. I have one sister. She's amazing. She's attending UT right now. She's just finishing up her semester, so she's amazing. My dad and my mom, they were also college athletes, so being able to hear what they have to tell me, they always know what's best for me and everything. So yeah, my family life's great.
Okay. And then tell me about the important things you learned from having older siblings and from your parents. What are some of the biggest things that have had an impact on you being around them?
Definitely one of the biggest things I've learned from them is sports really isn't everything. My sister, she was a volleyball player, and lots of scholarships offers going into her senior year, but her junior year going into her senior, her sophomore year going into her junior year, she unfortunately tore her Achilles. She had to sit out that whole season, so she ended up losing scholarship offers. But she still attends UT. She's still hitting the books really hard, and what she's taught me is that sports really isn't everything. Academics always comes first. So being able to have something to fall back on is very important.
Okay. Let's get to know Braylon as a person away from football. What are your interests away from football? Do you like to hunt? You like to fish? Be on the lake? Tell us about what you like to do away from football.
I love to make music. That's my second passion. If football hopefully doesn't work out, I plan to pursue music a little bit more. But yeah, whether it's rapping a little bit or editing someone's vocals or making a beat for somebody, that's definitely what I do. That's what I love to do.
Well, it's good to hear. And I don't know if I told you this in Naples, but I have my wife's side of the family. There's a lot of talented artists in the gospel scene, some in front of the mic and some on the other side of the window who are actually doing producing. The thing I would tell you from being close to that industry is look at all aspects of the music industry because all the money isn't just made in front of the mic. A lot of the big money is made on the other side of the window as far as directing and copyright and all that kind of stuff. So keep all your options open on that, okay?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, you're going into your sophomore year. Tell me what wide receivers you pattern your game off of, either at the college or the pro level. Who do you like to say, hey, I've seen that kid play and he reminds me of? Who are you pattern your game off of?
Um, Wait, like you mean like the NFL, like
Yeah,
receiver?
either is there an NFL or a college receiver you go, yeah, I'm trying to be like that guy.
Definitely Julio Jones. I feel like my game right now is most similar to him, and how you can take the top off of a defense. You can go to him deep. He's a jump ball threat, so just put it up there for Julio. He can go get the ball, but that's definitely someone I model my game after, and I aspire to be just like him.
Okay. Braylon, you're at 6'3", 180 right now. Obviously, there's some size in your family. What do you think your height and weight will be by the time you graduate from high school? You got another growth spurt in you, or how big do you think you'll get?
Oh, definitely. I was just talking to my dad about it. He was like, we were in the car, coming back from a workout. He was like, "Man, I think you're growing. I think you're growing." But I always said I hope to be 6'6". That's how tall I eventually think I will. I will be.
That is a mismatch because you don't see a lot of 6'5", 6'6" corners. So that's going to be if you get that height. Does your dad have good height?
He's 6'3". Well, I'm catching up to him right now, but his whole side of the family is really tall. So
Okay.
yeah, they have a lot.
And with your athleticism and your height, tell me about some of the other sports you play besides football.
I was able to play varsity basketball and I ran varsity track this year. Unfortunately, track season was cut short,
Right.
but I was on the road to potentially making it to Texas relays. That was something that was on my goal list this year. It's making it to Texas relays, whether it was in high jump or a relay. I'm a really good hurdler. I run the 300 hurdles and the 110 hurdles. So.
Okay. And I saw some video of you high jumping. You got really good form. I mean, what was your PR in the high jump?
This year, I want to say I hit 6'3". My goal was to hit 6'6" this year, to clear 6'6", but that was a progression. That was something I was working on. That's something I still am working on hitting. But yeah, by the end of the season, I was planning on hitting 6'6".
Okay. One of the things that's important about being a successful student athlete is overcoming adversity. Tell these coaches about a certain time in your life, either personally or dealing with football, where you had to overcome adversity.
As I mentioned earlier, at the beginning of the season, I want to say it was July. I had broke my wrist in Vegas at a basketball tournament. It was the first game. I went up to block this guy's layup, and I came down straight on my wrist and I busted my chin open. And that was really hard for me, you know, because I'm a football first guy. So being able to have to sit out and practices, that was very hard for me. But as soon as I got my cast on, I was out there participating in practice, whether it was running routes or something like that, even trying to catch with the cast on. I even played a scrimmage, the Pflugerville scrimmage with my cast on, and that was definitely hard on me.
Okay. When did you start playing football? What age did you start playing football?
I want to say it was first grade. That's when I started playing flag football. As soon as I touched the football, I fell in love with the game. It was like I loved catching the ball and juking out everybody. I played a little bit of quarterback here and there. I played free safety. So just being exposed to that at a young age was just amazing.
Okay. We're obviously mentioned in the earlier COVID-19 environment, spend a lot of time at home. What do you do to kill time when you're not working out? Are you a video guy? What apps are you using? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I play a lot of video games. I play like NBA 2K20. That's a popular one. That's what me and all my friends play. We definitely play a lot of Madden. We stay on Madden. We love the competition of it. And if I'm not in the video game, I'm over there making beats on my beat machine, my drum pad and stuff. So
Okay. And what
pretty
are
much
some of
all.
your favorite apps? Are you a TikTok guy, Instagram, Snap? What do you spend time with on your phone?
I really been getting into TikTok. There's always some funny TikToks on there. Some um, I like to be on Instagram. I probably say that's the app I am mostly on. Rather it's just like looking at famous people's pages and stuff. But those are the two main apps I'm really on right now.
Okay. As we start to reopen Texas from this COVID-19, you start to get out with your friends, maybe your girlfriend. What's your shoe game looking like? Are you a big shoe head?
Oh yeah, I probably want to say I have over like 50, 60 pairs of shoes. I love shoes. I mainly Jordans. I try to stay on Jordans, but the shoes I wear the most have to be Vans because they're versatile. You can wear them with anything, pretty much do anything in Vans. But yeah, I have a lot of shoes.
Well, with your music background, I'm waiting to hear the answer to this next question. When you're pregame this fall in the locker room, waiting for a big game over at the Palace, who are you listening to get hyped? What are some of your favorite artists?
I listen to a lot of Lil Baby. You know, he just dropped his new album, so
Yep.
he probably is my favorite artist right now. Roddy Rich. Uh, I just love their voices on the songs. They speak to me in a different way, and some of their songs, like Lil Baby song "Emotionally Scarred," it always gets me going. Like the things he's saying in the song, like keep me pushing, they make me want to go harder. So yeah, those are the two main artists on my playlist right now.
Follow up pregame. Are you a get hype guy, or do you like to kind of be alone and kind of settle down and focus on the game plan of what you're going to bring to the game? Which one are
I
you?
like I definitely like to focus. I'm usually sitting in the corner of the locker room listening to my music, just staying focused. And then as soon as we come out the tunnel, that's when I'm really hype. I try and get everybody's spirits up. But yeah, I'm kind of a chill back, laid back
Okay.
type.
Here's an opportunity for you to shout out some other players, either on your team or who you've played against. Who else do you think these college coaches should be taking a look at in the class of 21, 22, or 23?
One player I definitely feel like college coaches should be looking at is Jake Chambers. He's a linebacker. He's a great player. Surprised he doesn't have many offers yet, but he's amazing. Daniel Obina, he just had a podcast recently. He's a really good player. Tristan Stevens, he's a hard worker. Um, from other schools, I know Bruce Mitchell. He's really good. Caleb James, they're very good players. I want to say Jeremiah Wright, Jabori Atkins. If I can name all of them, I could, but those are some of the players I have to mention.
No, that's a strong list, big time. I appreciate you shouting them out like that. Um, Tell me about some people outside of your family who have had a positive impact on your life.
Uh, Definitely my flag football coaches from like first and second grade. I feel like if it weren't for them, I wouldn't love football as much as I do. Dominic and Jason Brosi, uh they have a son. His name's Tanner Brosi. He's a class of 2024 athlete, but he's really good. He's an amazing receiver. He can run routes like crazy. He knows the game very well. But I feel like if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be as good as of a football player I am today.
Okay. Braylon, tell me, how do you define leadership and how do you lead as just a sophomore on a 6A team?
I say leadership is being able to lead without force. And one way I feel like I lead a lot is by leading by example, whether it's going out and doing a drill first and showing somebody how to do it, or whether it's just lifting somebody's spirits up after a loss or something like that. I feel like that's the best way to lead, leading by example.
I like that.
Or
That's a
even
great definition. Yeah,
yeah.
leading without force. I like that a lot. Tell me about going back to a little bit of personal community. What do you do to give back to your community? Are you involved in your church or some non-charitable clubs, or what do you got going on there?
Yes. For church, I sing in the choir here and there. That's something I really love to do. But I'm also in YMSL, Young Men's Service League, and so basically what we do in that is we go to we go to these different meetings and we make plans to help the homeless people out, or even help kids who don't have homes or who don't have families. We do a lot of that. We like to attend at the Round Rock Service Center. Uh, Organize food in the food pantry, or we store toys away and stuff like that. But it's basically what we do.
Good deal. Okay. We talked about some of the other sports you do, but tell me, a simple question that coaches will ask you once you get on campus. Why do you think your game translates to the college level?
I feel like my game translates to a college level is because I can, like I mentioned earlier, I can pretty much do anything. I can play slot, I can play outside, I can run routes really well. I can take the top off of the defense like Julio Jones, as I said earlier. But I feel like I'm a very versatile player, and I feel like every college needs a versatile player on the team.
Okay. Tell me about when you make your decision of where you're going to commit to here in the next few years. Who's going to be involved in that decision?
Definitely my family. Like I said earlier, they've had a say in nearly everything I do, as far as sports go, music goes, anything goes. They're definitely going to be the ones to help me make my college decision.
Okay. And then let's fast forward even further. So you great 4 years in college, 3 or 4 years, and you were at the NFL draft in New York. Who's sitting at your table waiting for your name to be called by Roger Goodell?
Uh, Man, if I could bring everybody, I could, but definitely my mom, my sister, my dad, my grandma, my family members could be there. Those are the most important people in my life right now. So.
Okay. As we finish up here, tell me what is going to be the single most important factor of what school you choose? Will it be distance from home, scheme, culture, family environment? What are some of the things you're looking for from a college?
Mainly scheme and distance from home. Those are two big things. But I just want to go to a college that's the best fit for me. I want to go to a college that supports my major. A college that's culturally like me. I want to go to a school with a hype culture, a football culture, something like UT or like Oklahoma or LSU. So one of those schools, like yeah.
Okay. Lastly, tell me, college coaches want to understand the learning style of the players they bring into their program. Would you consider yourself a visual learner, verbal, or physical?
I would say I'm a very visual and physical learner. I like to see things being done in front of my face rather than like hearing them. I mean, I can hear things as well. Like I can translate that very well. But if I'm able to see somebody else do it and I can replicate the exact same thing, uh, that's the easiest way for me to learn.
Okay. And then lastly, we talked about it earlier, elevator pitch, 30 seconds with these to tell these college coaches why they should recruit Braylon James to their program.
My name is Braylon James. I'm 6'3". I'm 180. I'm 180 pounds. I have an 83-inch wingspan. Basically, I can high point balls like a beast. I'm really amazing at that. But I'm a leader on the team. I'm a leader on and off the field. That's something I pride myself in. I also I contribute to my community, and I feel like every college needs a player like that. Um, I learn things. I pick up things very well. I'm very coachable, and if you need an athlete like me, I'm right here.
Well, Braylon, I agree with everything you said, and I'm going to go ahead and add, because I've gotten to know you personally, you and your family. You are also going to be a great ambassador of whatever program you end up going to, because it isn't just about football. It's about who they want to put out in the community, who they want to put in front of the media to be a representation of the program. And I think you check all those boxes also. So I am looking forward to seeing you on the field this fall. Continue to be safe. Tell the family I said hello, and if you need anything from me, please reach out to me, okay?
Thank you, Coach Williams, for everything
All
you've
right,
done.
man. You're welcome. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.